It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I am joined this week by Liam and Pete. Dave and Paul, I think, are on the way, so they should be joining soon. Lads, we are recording on the morning of the Leicester game. Bit of a six-pointer in every sense of the word. So I'm going to kick off with Gary's question, who said, "Is it normal? I am looking forward to going the match again. I feel like I'm setting myself up for an almighty fall. I'm with him. I've been looking forward to this Leicester game since Brighton, I think. Um, what could go wrong? Everyone looking
Yeah,
forward to it."
yeah, I am. But it's like the noughties again, isn't it? Oasis are back, Moyes are back, Everton. You're quite excited to go to the match. It's like
The weird
a
subs
bit of a
back.
throwback. Yeah, the weird subs back. It is exciting, isn't it? I mean, I actually had the real pang of worry last night because I felt excited first time in a while, and I had a flashback to go in the Wigan game in the cup. But I don't know about you guys. I think it's one of those cocksure I've ever been going to like a big size game, thinking, yeah, we're gonna batter these, and well, we know how that went.
Our confidence, it never ends well, does it?
No.
No.
No, Pete, how are you feeling about today? You all set up for the I saw you sent me a little spreadsheet of last night of where everyone's going with the flags. That's some work you put in there, mate.
No, I'm
It is
telling
brilliant
you.
work
I
to do.
mean, I'm at the stage in my life now where my Friday nights, I don't spend them in town or doing anything particularly interesting. It's spent making maps of certain stands to where people are going to stand with flags. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm cautiously optimistic because optimism is something that I'm absolutely terrible. Dave always says that I'm really optimistic and I'm like the most optimistic Evertonian that he knows. I'll be honest, like the actual optimism of looking forward to a game terrifies me. But yeah, I am looking forward to this today. Obviously, it's going to be difficult because of the injuries we've got, but yeah, I've just got a feeling, just got that little feeling of I don't know whether it's excitement or dread, but there's a feeling there somewhere, Les.
And you know what? It's nice to just feel something for once, isn't it?
Exactly, that's it. Just
So,
just the feeling, just
yeah,
just just generally, just like looking forward to something. It's
yeah.
great.
Dave, we were just saying, Gary said, is it normal that he's looking forward to going the match again? Are you looking forward to today?
We're going to batter these today.
Oh,
I
God.
reckon, I reckon we'll win about 3 or 4
Steady on
nil.
now, come on.
No, I've just got a feeling we'll absolutely tear these apart and run up to Ruud van Nistelrooy, he looks like a horse, and start laughing at him.
Do you reckon he'll have a big chunky roll knock on? I do.
Yeah, I do. I think I said, I said on Monday he looks like he needs circumcision, didn't I? When he's got when he's got
Dave,
that all the way.
it's Saturday morning, it's 6 minutes past nine, come on.
Oh yeah, we're not past the watershed, are we? No, in all seriousness, I think we'll go there today, and I fancy us to get not an easy win, but I think we'll score a few against these. Just it felt like in that Spurs game, and certainly at Brighton as well, you got that bit between your teeth. I think when it's a typical Moyes feeling in all of this, and I know like missing Mangala and obviously Calvert-Lewin's out. Just fancy he's got this attitude with the team now, and I know it's only been 3 games, but there were times when we had our backs against the wall. Then he was at his best. I think they're a bit cliche about thinking about Moyes in his years with us, but seems to get the best out of players in that regard. And it didn't feel like that against Brighton because we played well, but Everton playing Brighton away, that's like quite a nervous game for us, and we overcame that relatively comfortably. In terms of them not having a shot, they had one shot on target, wasn't it?
Mhm.
So Leicester are a poor side. Yes, they won away at Tottenham, but Tottenham are all over the place. Um, yeah, so I reckon we'll win tonight. I reckon we'll keep a clean sheet today even.
I'm all over that. So as you all mentioned there, we've got some injury problems. So Calvert-Lewin is obviously out, but don't know when he'll be back. But the club have said it's not as bad as they thought. He'll be like a new signing, won't he?
Didn't you say
And
that about Brozier as well?
probably yeah.
You
And
said
man,
Brozier's closer to getting back than they're not going to send him back to Chelsea apparently, and
oh right, okay. So
he's closer to getting back
Six weeks.
than Calvert-Lewin. Yeah.
I mean, it's that 6 weeks that still takes us into like the arse end of the season, doesn't it? Really, you're in April then,
Equal,
basically,
isn't
more or
it?
less.
Despite the fact he hasn't looked great.
Yeah, well, yeah, that as well. Mangala's the big. I mean, he's going to be a massive miss. I was absolutely gutted about that because him and Garner Gay look like a good, really good partnership in the middle of midfield there. So really bad for us, really bad for him. But Ben's asked, how concerned will you be if we don't sign anyone this window? Well, we might have already signed someone. And then Carlos Alcaraz, hopefully nothing like Antolin. Ben said, although it's a little worrying to think better will be our only option, it's very worrying. I feel Moyes has proven he can get the most out of a team without a strong striker. Maybe I'm just being naive. That's a fair point, isn't it, Liam? Like in the past, I mean, I think we went 2 years, I think, without a recognised striker after we sold Thingy to Leeds. What's his name? Scored,
Ooh.
scored against
Oh,
Chelsea.
to be Beckford to
I mean,
Leicester.
yeah. So Leicester, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. We got him, yeah. So Moyes can do that, can't he? Do you think he's got the players at his disposal this time to do it?
I mean, within Die, there's maybe something there. In the past, where he's not had strikers, I've played like Kale and Fellaini. You can kind of be, I don't want to say a false nine, but not an out and out striker. They can be a presence in the box. But the one thing I suppose works in his favour is the game's changed since his first Everton spell. You don't necessarily need that physicality. So there might be some games where someone like Ndai can actually do a job down the middle as a false nine or as the spearhead, the attack, whatever you want to frame it. So if anyone can do it, it's him. And the thing I would say is I'm not a big fan of Beto. I'm sure you guys agree with that. But I do also agree that I don't want us to just go and spend 15, 20 million on someone we don't need or someone who's not going to be right. He's going to be 6 months. Like Danny Ings been mentioned, but when you look at his time at West Ham, he was brought in the same situation 2 years ago, and he's not really been great for them, has he?
No, that's a fair shout. Dave, what do you reckon on Jack Harrison to be the Magai gay secret weapon for Moyes?
Why do I get asked the miserable questions?
Because I just want to wind you up. It's 9:10 now, and
I actually want
Tim
to
Allen's a goal scorer.
What did you say then?
Tim Allen's a goal scorer.
Mate, don't start. I've been working since 5 this morning. I don't need this. I actually want to refer to what Liam said then, because I think it was a good point before he started ripping me apart about Tim Howard. I feel as if when there's nothing we've got up front, I think that's where I sort of feel a little bit more reliable on Moyes sort of throwing someone in there. You remember back to the days when we had Steve Watson? When we played Southampton away, we won 1-0 and Steve Watson was class as a number 9. I think I'm less concerned about that than I would have been. Beto, let's face it, still wondering whether he's a professional footballer or not. But it again, somebody else, I think Moyes is the type that gets something from him. I mean, he won the penalty, didn't he? And he had a shot from 5 yards out and nearly hit someone's face in the crowd. But with getting somebody in, I mean, I've no idea who this kid is that we're getting. He's been at Southampton as well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I think
he made his debut in the headlock game, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
That was when he made his Southampton debut, the headlock game. Yeah.
Well, he scored 4 and set up 2 in 19 games for them.
So you're going to say in 1995 or something?
No, in a side that ultimately was shite and got relegated. So I've actually got a message.
From him?
No, from Dave.
Argentinian Davy Klassen.
Yeah, but he spoke to a mate of his who supports Southampton, and basically said he was a bit too good for them and a bit too soft for the Premier League, but he'll get stronger. So I think however long he's at, he went to Juventus after Southampton and then he went to Flamengo. So I think even 6 months in the South American League is going to toughen you up, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to get battered around there, aren't you, for a while? Yeah. Like, you're going to learn what footy's all about when you go in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it's hit and miss, isn't it, when you're signing players who, well, firstly play for a crap Premier League side, go away, and then come back. It's very hit and miss. But if you're getting it as a loan with a potential to buy him, then you're not really losing out because you can get 6 loans, can't you, from abroad? So that's not too much of an issue for us, is it?
No, that.
I mean, I think you're right in what you said, though, lads, about Mangala's a massive hit. He's mad. Yeah. You think of the partnership he was building up with Idrissa Gueye as well. I just hope the balance in that doesn't change here. It'd be interesting to see what he does today with that. I mean, I'd like to see Irabunum back in because he looked really promising, but then got that quite a serious injury as well. So position we're in. I mean, I'm starting to look at things in a different perspective now, thinking that Moyes said on his presser then, which I was just listening to, that he, like most of us, doesn't think you're going to need anywhere near 40 points.
No.
What are we on there now? 39, What are we on
We're
now?
23,
Sorry,
aren't we?
23, is it?
23, yeah.
23, 7 points above. I'm looking at 16 games left to go, and I reckon we need 3 or 4 victories there.
10 points out of that, I reckon.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Our back-to-back wins were the first time this season. You're looking at it thinking, do you know what? We can still get in Europe here.
Well, it was steady on. It was the same last season, though, wasn't it? We had two good runs during the season. Really, we had that massive run where we didn't win and we drew quite a lot of games and that. But basically, ultimately, what kept us up quite comfortably in the end was those two back-to-back wins. So it was 4 on the spin, and then was it 4 again or 5?
Yeah. Well, that's why
3 on the
Les,
5 home games, wasn't it?
Yeah.
well, yeah, this is it, and this is why today is important. And I'm maybe got far too naive saying we'll batter these, but you take 3 from these today, they're below us, obviously.
Well, that's
You've got
9 points then between us.
Yeah,
And
you've got Wolves are up against Villa in the West Midlands derby as well. So then you start thinking like you're getting to double figures above the drop zone. You're thinking then that's the kind of thing that Moyes looks at and thinks, you know what, get us into a safe mid-table position there, and then that's job done. Since we're all worried when Sean Dyche was the boss as well, so he'll have the motivation not to be a kind of side that you're safe and you just arse around for a few games. Because say if we went and won, I know it's going to be tough this month. This month we've got 6 games in such a short period of time there, including the FA Cup. But it's the type of thing many people have said. If you get to that place where you're relatively safe, as in you're not going to go on a run of losing your last 10 games, let's say, then you can have a good look at an FA Cup. I hate anyone who says an FA Cup run. No, I don't care about a run. You go in the FA Cup to win it. I can't stand let's go on a decent FA Cup run. Okay, we'll go on a run and get knocked out in the semis, eh? Who wants that? So if you're in a position to do so,
to Wembley, like.
well, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, well, the semis. Then, do you know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
don't you?
No, I know
You
what you mean.
that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I can't stand that thought where you've had a good season if you only get to a point where you've not won.
Yeah,
What you've run into.
it gets to a point in the FA Cup, doesn't it? If you go out in like the quarters, even if you go out in the semis, because it's a big day out, and ultimately, like the Man United one, it was dreadful in the
Well,
end.
because it's at Wembley now as well, isn't it? The
Yeah,
semis.
but you get to a point with the FA Cup when you go out in one of those rounds where you think, I'd sooner just gone out in the third round and saved all this hassle because
Yeah.
it hurts that much when you get that close and get knocked out.
Yeah.
Was it Palace the last one? Last quarters? Palace
4-1.
away,
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was.
Yeah, grim.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be concerned if we don't sign anyone? Let's say we sign this cat from Flamengo. Would you be concerned if we didn't sign anyone else? Do you think we need more?
I think the timing of James Garner coming back is key for me. Because actually, I thought last season, him and Idrissa Gana Gay, James Garner and Idrissa Gana Gay, I thought that was our preferred central midfield option anyway. Certainly towards the second half of the season when Amadou Onana just completely fell off a cliff. So I think the timing of him and Irabunum coming back in, it's perfect for us. Obviously we're gutted about Mangala getting injured, but that's the one position I think that because of the players coming back, we should be okay. I'd still be concerned though. I mean, the one thing as well to consider, Les, is that we seem to have forgotten someone in the mix, throwing someone into the mix of who can be our leading striker for the rest of the season, and that man is Michael Keane.
I think we have.
Get that man up front. Change his squad number if you have to. Just get that man up front and let him shine. Let him be
Let's do it.
let him show the world that he is the most underutilized, best of all time centre forward that the world has ever seen.
You had the most serious face when you said that. Then and you thought you were just going to pull out someone who have missed, who's in the
Michael
academy, who
Keane.
looks like he's going to be like some sort of star player like Rooney, and he goes Michael Keane. It's like,
Michael Keane
he's
is the
actually
best
right about
finisher.
that.
Michael Keane is the best finisher in our squad, and that is probably that. I don't know whether that's a sad indictment of the rest of the squad or it's just a fact that Michael Keane is very good at finishing chances. But yeah, let that man off the leash and let him show the world what he can do.
He's a danger in both boxes.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's harsh that. Hey, do you know what? It's harsh that I don't think he's had a game since. Well, it's a long time. Since Branthwaite got fit, I don't think he's had a game for us. So it started one anyway.
I think it was Southampton, wasn't it? When we lost 1-0. I think that was the last time he played, wasn't it?
He was really good as well. And it's really hard to praise that. I hate that you sort of stick with that narrative with players. But as much as we criticise them, it feels hard to say how good he's been. But he's one of our best players before he didn't start playing.
And he's a fella who's come through some horrific injuries while at the club. There was the skull fracture and the big boot, which leads me on to the hot topic. What's the worst injury you've ever had, Dave?
Personally,
Yeah.
oh mate, how long have you got here? I haven't. You can laugh at this now because it was that long ago. But what 13 years ago, pretty much died when I had what happened with.
I should have come to you last, shouldn't I?
Well, I was
Really?
going to say almost identical to what happened to Fabrice Muamba, where mate, this thing called ventricular tachycardia, where your heart beats at like 300 beats per minute, so it hasn't got enough time to put blood around your body. So got sent. I was playing footy for Zachley with Lee Butler in Radio City charity game. And it was so hard for the ambulance to get to me because there was no gap amongst the fence of the pitch.
Oh,
So
really?
basically, they had to
Yeah.
put me in a wheelchair and get me to the ambulance. And I'm not joking, I couldn't barely move, obviously. I could barely breathe. And I basically had to lean onto one of my own legs. That my mum was going to sue them for years. But anyway, that happened, went to Zachley. They had to stop my heart, which is actually killing you, and then started again. So it had the rhythm was better. So
So you got turned off and turned back on.
yeah. So
Jesus.
I suppose that officially classifies as dead. And then ever since that, I've had me defibrillator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which you
which
just
has
had
been
refitted. Was that last year?
got no May. Yeah, sorry, May
Last
last
year, wasn't
year.
it? Yeah.
Because I got into as Pete will know, I was physically prowess looking for the Olympics. A few years ago playing footy, that lost a load of weight, and the battery needs to be changed. And the doctor said, "Well, you don't have to have it changed because you're actually in decent nick." And then he said because I was diagnosed on the second thing to go to epilepsy, they said they recommend getting the battery put back in. So I got that put back in. So it's like it works now and it beeps and all that sort of shit. Which if you've only ever used it for the first time, you're absolutely shit yourself. Um, what else? Yeah, epilepsy. Um, I did me ACL in, which was replaced by me hamstring when I was 19. So yeah, if you have any questions you want to ask about how to overcome serious physical or health issues or otherwise, I'm happy to do a podcast for you if you want to give me a shout.
Down Dr. Dave's Medical Mysteries. I think we'll start that in the summer. Pete?
Probably the most painful one. I've had the fair few, nothing like Dave's by the way, but I've had the fair few over the years. Most painful one. I snapped my Achilles, came off it like snapped off my calf muscle like quite
Oh,
high up. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, playing footy. Going back a few years ago, when I was playing footy next to the Tesco's on Alton Road, there's like these like little Astro pitches, and it was one of those I'd sort of been kicked a few minutes earlier on the back of the calf, and it felt a bit weird, but it felt like a bit of a dead leg. Carried on playing, and basically I went to sort of push down with my right foot to like go onto my left foot, and as I put my foot down, it felt like someone had just like shot me in the back of the leg, basically.
oh,
And I just went down, my foot just flopped, and like my calf muscle just like curled up into a ball. Yeah, that wasn't nice. That. And I just remember it was a proper intense pain. I was in hospital for 3 days, missed the first game of the season against, I think it was QPR. We played them on the first game of the season, so missed that. I was begging them to let me leave because I wanted to I wanted to go and watch the match. But yeah, I mean, the only good thing about, I say good thing, this is going to make me sound like a proper weirdo here. I'd never had that liquid morphine stuff before. It was fantastic. I was absolutely off my cake. It tasted like sambuca. I remember just being like, yeah, just in the hospital, completely like off my cake for about 3 days. But yeah, that was a bad one because it took ages to get over that as well. And as I say, it was just it was a weird thing. The weirdest thing as well, when they finally got this boot off. So I was in this boot for ages, and just before I started my proper physio, and my foot was like I couldn't move my foot up and down because it was completely,
Oh.
it was totally immobile basically. And I just remember when the doctor finally took the boot off, and he did the weirdest thing where he pushed my foot back, to get
Yeah.
it like working again basically. And he said this is going to feel really strange. And when he did it, there was like this.
Oh,
oh,
You could but like you could hear it. It was like this really horrible noise. But as soon as he did it, it was the best relief of my life. It was amazing, and all of a sudden I could move my foot again. This is like months down the line, do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was a horrendous one. The other good thing about it was as well was that I think I fell in love with the physio when I was going to Physically Hospital. She was absolutely unbelievable.
But apart from
Never
the
think,
physio and the liquid
You
morphine, would not
started
recommend.
breaking your Achilles yourself, so you can go back and see the fit
yeah.
doctor.
Well, to be respectful, she was very good at her job as well. Do you know what I mean? She
That's
gave
not
me the home to
respectful. After you
carry.
just said she's fit.
I didn't say those words, did I? But she
Anyway,
was a
Liam,
very.
any injuries?
It was love, Dave. It was love.
Nothing as dramatic as Dave or even Pete, to be honest with you. I'm going to go for one that's come to mind. You probably see me doing that with my mouth because I'm anxious when I think about it. It's when I was a kid. Dave you live near Dovecot, don't you, Dave?
Yeah. I don't know how you know that,
so
but yeah.
I grew up. Yeah, I grew up. I did say in pod 4. I grew up along Leach Road, just off the shops. And when I was 11, some kid whipped me up and do like the old cobbled curbs.
Oh,
I went like that. This is a false tooth because it snapped in half on the curb. I went like that and basically bit the curb, and then so it was a cap when I was a kid, and now it's a crown. But I remember going, my mouth hurts, and I looked in the mirror, and half my tooth was just gone. Oh, it was horrendous.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you know what's really interesting, somewhat ironic with the lads there, is that mine, I never really had any physical pain, just like life-threatening, whereas yours actually seriously physically hurt, like proper hurt you. Do you know, the one I did forget to mention is I had the brain clot that I had as well. That was fun.
Hat-trick. There you go.
That was good fun, yeah.
Stu said he came off his bike on a patch of ice a few years ago, overextended his rotator cuff for a few days. The only way to ease the pain was to keep it extended in a Musk-style one-armed salute.
Oh.
And no one has beaten this one. Stephen never had a particularly bad injury, but shut my finger in a door when I was 8 and lost a fingernail, which was grim.
Oh, my word.
No one's beating that, lads.
That's serious pain.
No
That is serious pain, isn't it?
Yeah, like the blood blisters you get when you're a kid. Oh,
horrible.
Oh, mate, I just feel it now because I did it in our caravan door once when I was a kid. And, mate, honestly, I don't even know how I survived. it hurt that bad. Do you know what I mean? When you're a kid as well, things are just in agony for days, and it's obviously you get a bit more, you're a bit more survival, don't you, as you get older? But as a kid, when something hurts, it's like the worst thing you've ever had.
Back to transfers, Ben. What's the most laughable Everton transfer link you've seen? There's one that springs immediately to mind for me.
Don't say it. It's boring, that one.
What one?
You're going to say Riquelme, aren't you? Oh, fair enough.
Go on, Dave.
I've myself off there, haven't I? Oh, hang on, Les. Before we go forward, what's your injury question? The pain question?
Oh, mine. Injury. Broken ribs, I think.
Oh, how'd you do them?
Playing in a Sunday League Cup final, and keeper just wiped me out. The keeper was about 20 stone. I was like about 10. And he just wiped me out, landed on me. Didn't get a penalty. And just couldn't breathe. It honestly, just like the pain. I don't know if anyone's ever busted ribs, but you just can't breathe. So I carried on for about 2 minutes, then came off. Went home, just couldn't breathe at all. I was in bed, just sitting up. I had to go to the hospital and he said, you broke your ribs, but we can't do anything for you.
How did he sort that out?
You don't. You just gotta take it easy. You can't do anything. There's because ribs are made to contract and expand, and because of where they are, lungs. They can't do anything with it. You just gotta.
So you've still got one?
Oh. What's that?
You've still got a broken rib?
No.
Well, how does it fix itself?
Back.
It just heals.
Does it?
Yeah.
So the bone just sorts itself out.
Yeah. It's the worst thing about it is that you just can't sleep.
Yeah,
because that's the worst thing about the broken ribs is that you can't move, so you can find yourself comfortable. But if you fall asleep and move in any slight way, you'd end up with you don't sleep for a month, do you? It's horrible.
No, it was horrible. It's just quickly on that. Joe broke his collarbone in the summer.
As well.
And they can't do anything with that. Just his arm in a sling. It was literally broken apart like that. And that just set itself. That just fixed, and it's fine now. He's got a big lump on his collarbone, but it's I
told you about that one as well, didn't I, Les? When I done that in Spain.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, and they thought the Spanish doctors thought that there's like an ambulatorio, it's like a walking centre, and they thought it dislocated my shoulder. So they tried to pop it back in, realised that they couldn't, and then sent me to Malaga Hospital. And it was at Malaga that they said, "Oh no, you haven't dislocated it. You've actually broken your collarbone." So when they were trying to pop it back in,
God,
they
I
were
can't
actually
imagine
just
the
like,
pain.
How much of a nightmare though is it if you have anything happen to you abroad? Because I'd be petrified of going to a hospital abroad. You know, I know you get your insurance and that, but if someone said to me, "You've got to go to Malaga Hospital,"
I don't know.
I'd be like, "What are these going to do to
It'd
me?"
be quicker than over here, so there is that.
to be fair, it was yeah, in and out, great.
Yeah. Ben, back to transfers. What's the most
Oh, sorry.
laughable Everton transfer link? Yes. So, Dave, what's yours? Not Raquel,
Transfer link.
Liam,
Oh,
I'll give you time to think, Dave.
yeah.
I'm going to go for one that actually nearly happened because you can Google this and find it out, and it's possibly the only good thing Benitez has ever done for this club. In the summer of 2004, we agreed a fee with Liverpool for Jimmy Traore,
Oof.
and we were on the cusp of signing him, and Benitez pulled the plug because he wanted him.
Bloody hell. That was a
If you
dollar.
look, you can Google it. There's a BBC. We agreed a fee, and Benitez had like crunch talks with him. I don't want you to leave. And looking back, I mean, I know he goes on to win the Champions League. Was like, I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Not because of him anyway, was it?
I never
Yeah.
knew that.
On the same note
Yes,
as what
it's
Liam
horrendous.
said there, then I've got Sissoko, who he nearly signed for us there, but I think he was regarded quite highly there, wasn't he? He was a decent player for them. Because I remember watching him thinking, I wish we'd have got him, but obviously because it was with them, it was like I'm made up he hasn't came there because he's obviously just fucked us off for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was obviously gutted about him in a bit of a different way.
The worst one of them was Dean Saunders. When we
I
we had
knew you go. Yeah, I was
we
thinking he
all
might
but
go back
signed
for
him
that.
from Derby, and then Souness swooped in and took him. Bastard. I'm glad he was
Well,
safe.
a lot of people have hated him ever since that, haven't
Oh
they?
God, yeah, with good reason as well.
Proper
Yeah.
despise him.
Yeah.
Don't love
Welsh
that.
prick.
Pete. Pete.
Do you remember that summer when we were linked with Michael Owen? And apart, like he's later on said that we were very close to getting him. I remember
On
at
his
the
way
time
back from
thinking
Madrid, was that?
We
from
went to
Madrid, yeah,
United,
and
didn't he?
Out of
we went to
Newcastle first,
Newcastle.
wasn't it?
Went to Newcastle first, but it was that Newcastle thing. When you look at his record over like 4 years, they spent a lot of money on him, and he was big wages, and because we got linked with him twice. There was that first time when
Yeah.
he went to Newcastle, and then the second time as well when he left Newcastle, we were linked with him again, weren't we?
Stoke as well.
And I think, and also I'm pretty sure the same summer Craig Bellamy was the same, where we were very close to getting Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
I think those two. I think Bellamy probably would have done a job for us, but
Yeah, he would have
Michael
been
Owen by that point is his knees were or his hamstrings were made of cheese string, weren't they? So
Yeah.
there was nothing left in him. And when you look at his record, I think that would have been a big mistake for us, given how much wages he would have been asking for and everything else. So
Yeah, definitely.
Bellamy, I'd be fuming with Bellamy though.
I reckon he'd have been decent for us.
I know he'd have been decent for us, but I think he's one of the worst absolute piss takers. Do you know, like proper? He's like Vardy, just wants to people to fume at him. Do you know what I mean?
we would have loved him for that. Though.
I'd be all over that if he played.
He did it with and that fucking cross he put in for Carroll in the semi.
Oh, don't come on.
Yeah, come on, let's not go there. So my one links to Newcastle. It was the £12 million bid Everton put in for Alan Shearer.
Amazing.
When he'd already gone to Newcastle for 15 million.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
and wasn't that similar to when? But wasn't it similar to when we tried to get him when Bill was saying that we tried really close to get Alan Smith from Leeds?
Yeah, we offered like a record fee over like 12 years or something ridiculous, didn't we?
And it was like, we were just about to get him. He had the hand on a piece of paper, and then Man United came in for him last minute. But I couldn't believe it.
Collymore as well, didn't we? When Collymore went to the shite, and he was again. I'm sure that was a record at the time, and we did the same sort of thing where we bid 7 and they'd already bid like 8.5.
But
£7 though.
The good news from that was, had we got Collymore, we would never have got Kanchelskis, I don't think.
Exactly.
So
that's true. Although there was someone we were linked to that summer, I don't know how much was in it. That might have been even possibly better than Chelsea. We actually apparently were in for Bergkamp before we went to Arsenal.
Oh my word!
Imagine if that had happened.
Chicken and that, innit? Yeah, because Bruce Rioch signed Bergkamp, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like people understandably think of Wenger and Bergkamp because they do a synergy, but it's mad that Bruce Rioch, he was like a bit of a brawler.
Yeah,
And like such a good player.
At the time, we were like as good as Arsenal. Both teams were
Yeah.
like sort of fifth, sixth in the league. So we said, I think last week, didn't we? They pipped us to Europe, I think, that season.
Yeah.
So we were both
Yeah,
clubs were neck and neck. Arsenal hadn't gone on to win. I think we won more titles than them at that point, hadn't we?
I think we had possibly,
I think we had, yeah. So it was just before that whole Wenger thing where they won loads. But yeah, if they could sign him, there's no reason we couldn't have done that. Oh, that's sickening, that.
Yeah.
So I always loved as well back in the day. The blue kipper, and they had like the something fishy,
Yeah.
and then they had like the
Still
kipper,
there, isn't it?
the kipper score. Do they still do that though? Like the
Yeah,
actual?
they
'cause
do.
I thought the
Well, it's on
website got
Twitter,
taken.
Yeah.
The website's gone, hasn't it?
I
The
don't know.
website's gone. Yeah,
You still got a
That's some-
social media page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But I remember that I used to love the going on the little rumours. But I always remember one as well. We were offered Didier Drogba for £3 million. The season before he scored like 30 goals, and then Chelsea
Yeah.
signed him.
I'm not
We
having
got
these
offered him
ones. I'm not having
we,
that.
look it up, Dave. Genuinely,
Oh.
we got offered him for three. He was getting touted round all like different European clubs for £3 million. And then he had this unbelievable season where he just like tore. I think it was like the UEFA Cup, not the Champions League. But he had the season where he was just tearing it apart. And then
Yeah.
Chelsea came in and signed him for like 30 million quid. And
Unreal.
obviously the rest is history.
Didn't he peak at like 30 though? So he would have been,
Yeah,
I reckon when he was getting hawked around, he would have been getting on, wouldn't he?
Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah. So he
Yeah,
probably
they got him when
28.
they got him when they got. Do you remember that run where I think it was the first season when Abramovich come in, and they ended up getting him? Do you remember Kejman as well?
Yeah.
It was those two up front, and Kejman was absolute shite.
Yeah.
And Drogba took a while to settle in, and then obviously when he went on to get like Shevchenko, he was shite over here and all that sort of thing. But
Shevchenko was shite anyway. I'm not
started
having a good
getting
word.
like
I'm not having a good word
I
said
love
about
how
it.
you hate him because of that pen.
Yeah.
who
That header and
Shevchenko.
that penalty, shite.
Yeah, but also you think about the players they got then as well, which just destroyed their own careers, like Scott Parker, who I think was great at that time, Wright Phillips as well. It was when they were just signing the best players of
It's
all the
still
other
happening now
clubs.
though, isn't it? With players who are going to Chelsea because it's like, you look at the lad they signed from Southampton who the Reds wanted and things like that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of players who are still willing to go there thinking, I might just be on the bench, but the money's good.
And the peak Leicester Tory named midfielder.
Danny
What's his
Drinkwater.
No, what's his name? The young lad who's
Oh,
gone.
Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall. Is that where he lives? That's the name of his house, not just his name.
Dad said he sounds like a school day out.
Somewhere you'd have your wedding.
Right, lads, we will leave it there for this half. We'll be back in a minute, and I think Paul Dargan's going to join us as well, so that's something to look forward to. Don't go anywhere. We will be back soon. We are back, and we are joined by Paul Dargan, as Liam said, looking like Dark Kermit. If you're not watching on YouTube, watch it on YouTube so you can see Dargan as Dark Kermit. If you are watching on YouTube, why not subscribe to the Patreon? It's all good. We will go with Foxy's question now. The new Everton Stadium, are we going for upper tier nice views from the North End bar or lower tier flag waving closeness to the action? Pete, you've got yours, haven't you?
Yeah, upper east. I'm in.
Upper east.
Yeah, basically I've gone for like the same view I've got now, like sort of looking back across the pitch. So I'm in section 217. I'm made up with mine, absolutely buzzing.
Is that the other side to the aways?
Yeah, basically on the so it's like the opposite on the east, if you know what I mean.
Because I think we're looking at the south east. It'll be then in that corner.
Yeah,
I think we're looking there.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, yeah, southeast. So, but like sort of into the east a bit more. Online with like the 6 yard box, basically. But I mean, a really handy thing, I think I mentioned this the other day as well, is that once you've bought your ticket, you can still actually get access to the map. You can still see what's available.
Yeah.
So, which is really handy. So I've been like giving my mates updates as the weeks have gone on, to show them so they can sort of plan where to go. I mean, there's loads of great seats left, I mean, someone pointed out to me the other day that even if you're the last person to get a seat, there's still 13,000 seats left.
Oh,
so,
yeah, shout.
So, like, in other words, you're still going to get, wherever you end up, you're going to have a good seat. Might not be exactly what you want, but I think once we all get in there, it'll be fine. But I'm of the opinion, get in the upper, and then you can have like that sort of walk around to the
That's what
south
I'm
stand
thinking.
upper, overlooking the docks and all that. I think that's what I've gone for. And also, you're very protected from the weather, aren't you? Because the roof's like
Yeah,
slightly more covered.
exactly. Yeah, those. If anyone doesn't know, those front rows might get a little bit wet in the rain. But anyway, Liam.
Do you know what? It's mad. Not really thought about it yet. I was eligible straight away, but we're waiting for one of the lads who's had a season ticket since 2019. So we're kind of the view of what Pete's touched on. We're not too fussed in terms of, we just know there'll be a good view anyway. The only thing we've resolved to do, as you'll know, is I've been a park ender for like 11, 12 years now. We've decided not to be by the away fans. I've just had enough of that.
Yeah,
I've just had enough of that roar in the last minute winner, and you see them right in front of you, and
it's the worst noise in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what I spoke about on Good Times this week? The worst one, and I could see it coming a mile off. It was the Benitez derby when they were singing his name and throwing the flares on the pitch, and like they eviscerated us on the pitch as well. And you're like, there's nothing we can even say. Yeah, it's just like yeah.
That was as bad as it got, and it's just, it's so predictable.
Yeah, but yeah, so for me, kind of cop out with an answer. I'm not sure, but just away from the away fans is what we're going for.
You're going for the upper?
Possibly, yeah, but I don't know. I like getting close to the place. They can hear the boo.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Me.
See, the park end will never leave you. Once you've been a park end, you always will be. Paul, where you thinking?
I don't even know. Everyone. So I currently sit. I'm not giving it away completely, so people can come and just chin me for no reason. But I sit on the side, and I sit on the very back row, so I can stand up and sit down whenever I want because it's just a brick wall behind me.
Yeah, we're like that on the back row. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I prefer that, but I can't get the replicated seat. Sorry, in the new ground because it's all been taken over by the prawn sandwich brigade, hasn't it? So. Loads of people. Well, you've asked me where I'm sitting, Les, haven't you? I've got loads of different people who are asking me where I'm sitting to try and get close to them. But my mate had got his on Wednesday, and I think there's about 6 of them, and they're pretty much together, other than a couple of seats, so, apart. So I was asking where Tom wants to go, basically, because I don't mind.
Yeah, that's what I've done with Jay.
Yeah, and but I don't want to go in the new Gladys, if you like, because I don't know.
We can't go in there because there's no concessions for OAPs, and my dad doesn't want to pay full price, so that's fair enough.
It's fair.
100%, yeah.
Well, you're going to say yourself, Les. I was going to say you're not that old, are you?
Getting there, mate. It's not far off now. Nearly 50, lad.
Liam, but I am. Thanks, mate. I just love it.
I keep saying I'm convinced that North End is going to be the one, by the way. I just think it's going to be full of proper angry heads. I know the away end sort of next to it, but I've just got a feeling about that North End that just gives me Gladys vibes. It looks like the Gladys one. It's like there seems to be the one that like not many people are going in just at the moment.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's going to end up being like the unfashionable one, which everyone's going to be just angry and bossing.
I think as well the North Upper, because the lower has got the aways there and the family enclosure in it. So you've probably got a snarling section in the middle of the North Lower. In the North Upper is going to be the one.
Snarling section, I like
snarling section, yeah. That's what it's going to be, isn't it?
Why is the family enclosure close to the away ends? That's got disaster written all over
I really don't know. You tucked it in the other corner, haven't you? So the aways are there and the family enclosure's there. I don't know. Bit strange, like.
I think the idea is maybe for less needle from the Evertonians, but then like, what happens when you get like narky away fans screaming at kids?
Yeah.
Like, was it those Leicester fans where there's a kid going like 1-0 or something, and these two like grown fellas are kicking off at him? Did they want to see the video? And like these fellas are screaming, go, "Don't let him do that!" It's just a kid going like 1-0 or something.
Yeah. Oh,
let's be honest though, our family enclosure can look after themselves. Over the years, our family enclosure have proven over the years that they can give it like.
You
that woman when she slapped Anderson during the Palace games, she just slapped him.
Ben, again, with so many ex-players and coaching roles now, which current players can you see going into weird future football roles? E.g. Michael Keane, future striker coach Pete, or Beto towering over execs in the boardroom?
Yeah.
I thought Jordan Pickford, pitch announcer.
Yeah. Or DJ, like pitch DJ. Yeah.
Oh yes,
Do
I
you reckon
think
though
do the
Pickford,
both.
if
Have
Pickford
some.
was the pitch announcer though, like when they do like hit the bar, like
Yeah.
could you imagine him just ripping? Or Pickford would be like the goalkeeping, like where you've got to have a penalty against a keeper. He wouldn't let any kid score past him.
Little kids taking penalties and he's saving them.
Yeah, he would.
I
Yeah,
love that.
and he give it loads as well when he did.
Imagine when we play Newcastle as well, like some things he called Newcastle, like the players and stuff like that.
I'm all for that. Other one I thought of was Jack Harrison in the club shop.
See, I thought him as an agent. He's
Oh
like just a
yeah,
slippery, yeah.
yes.
But I also feel like, I think I've said this before, I feel like he sort of fella just walks around in chinos and a reality shirt still, like it's 2011, no socks.
100%. Do you know what?
James Tarkowski.
I'm
James
moisturising
Tarkowski.
stuff.
Yeah,
What's that, mate?
James Tarkowski will end up being like, because he's already dipped his toe in the reality TV world, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. So he'll be
Yeah.
So I reckon him,
catacombs.
yeah, some like Love Island like couples type thing. Where,
Do you reckon
yeah, he'd end up.
be like mad
Yeah,
like that one in Georgia, Mikhailenko become like the president of the Ukraine? Like that lad used to play for City, becoming the prime minister of Georgia.
Imagine. Big hell. I also thought the Corey's a park end steward because he's the only thing that moves slower than the queue to get out the park end at the end of the game. Paul, have you got anything? Are you still there? Paul's gone. Dave's gone. I've WhatsApped Dave. No signs. So don't know what's happened there.
he'll be back.
He'll be back. Just as usual, fashionably late. Any more on ex players and coach? Hey, look at that. Speak of the devil.
Is he there?
It's like a seance now.
There we go.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
He is.
So, question we're on. Is there, with so many ex-players in coaching roles now, which current players can you see going into weird future football roles? So we've had Pickford as a pitch announcer. Tarkovsky's the Love Island correspondent. Liam, you said Harrison as an agent.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford. Any players going into weird roles at the club when he finished?
I could see Keane as like a fitness consultant in a gym, doing the
Doing the inductions.
and also leading the spin classes as well. Seeing like giving it bifters on a little bike. Do you know what I mean? Just being really friendly to people and all that, and trying to get them to buy like healthy Mars bars and stuff like that.
Michael Keane, spin instructor. I'm into that.
I've actually
Paul?
got one. I've
Oh,
actually got one that's quite relevant as well, by the way, Les. And this
good.
is like recent, like yesterday. So when we were setting the flags up yesterday, Michael Branch came along and helped us.
Okay. How's he getting on?
Yeah, so he's doing great. I mean, he's working for the. I'm not actually sure exactly what he does for the club, but he does work for the club now.
Okay.
But yeah, he turned up and helped us with the flags.
I
Great
think
lad.
Kevin in the community doesn't he? I think he's involved in the school and stuff, isn't he?
All right. Okay. Paul, anything on this?
Not a current player, but I had to run down and get me delivery. So that's why my screen went blank. But
Which player delivered it to you though?
Oh, delivered it to me. It wouldn't have been
Not a
Calvert
current
Lewin.
one.
It wouldn't have been Calvert Lewin because it would have gone next door.
Beto.
Stuart Barlow selling jigsaws in St. Luke's.
There you go. That'll do. One for the kids there.
Yeah.
Chris has asked, what are Everton missing a trick with when it comes to club merchandise?
Wow, that's a good one. That's a cracking question.
What is the crack with this like US merchandise stuff? So we'll get the baseball stuff because like that was part of the kit launch for the third kit, wasn't it? The whole baseball match at Goodison.
Yeah.
The American footy tops, which look like ice hockey shirts, really seem a bit weird to me. I'm not sure.
Well, you're talking about this in reference to what we saw. Rob Vera was sending it in the group, wasn't he? About the
Yeah.
what is it? The NFL style Everton
Yeah.
tops and all that. I don't know. I think that's probably a decent bit of marketing, isn't it? Because we want to increase the following over in America, given our owners and all that. I think that's a good one. I just try to think what other clubs sell. This is probably a success. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them bring out, and it probably sounds very, very goes against what we were talking about with how you always have a new kit every season rather than it used to be one every 2 seasons, didn't it?
Yeah.
But you do see other ones bring out like certain special ones, don't you, from years gone by and all that. I was thinking you might well see it yet, like one for last year at Goodison, something that refers to that. I think that'd be pretty special for most. But then, who are you to tell fans to buy 4 kits in a season? Do you know what I mean? But I actually think that'd be quite nice and it will go down well. It's like what we've done with the season ticket holders. I don't know if you guys bought it, but the badges you get that I paid for that. Because I think my season ticket you only had on about a five in a month or something like that. It comes out as. So I got that, which is really good there. I've got a stack of all my sort of nostalgic stuff behind me there. I think that's decent what we've done. I think there'll be a lot of the more. I mean, it's an ideal season, isn't it? Obviously, for Everton to try and kick into to earn a lot of revenue for that. So you can't begrudge them for doing that. I mean, it goes a bit far if you keep on doing it, though. I mean, you keep on bringing out bits and pieces all over the place. The main thing I can't wait for is being able to get your seat because I am so worried and paranoid about getting my seat. My seat's very. I know everyone's going to say it about their own. It's so unique. My seat's unique because I'm meant to be number 239, and they've done the number in the wrong way round and put 236. So, typical Everton style, I think that's a cracking memory to have. Say, listen,
That's not caused murder in the past, has it?
I was going to say with that crap, no one could put the right number on the season on the season seat. So and it's a wooden one as well. I don't know if any use on plastic. You're on plastic, aren't you, Pete?
Plastic in the park end.
Mhm.
What are you going to do there then? Melt it?
I'll get mine. Can't be asked. I'll
Did
just
you
I'll
not
just
get
end up
yours?
with a big bit of plastic and like, what am I doing with this? So.
So that's where, ironically, everyone fumed about us having wooden seats.
Oh, I think the
Wooden,
wooden seats are great.
Yeah.
exactly. That's where that's where we can, be more positive than you sitting off in a
think-
plastic.
Yeah, I think if we had wooden seats, I'd consider it. But I just don't want to end up with a bit of blue plastic. Don't know what to do
But
with
do
it.
you think when it happens, and I think I've referred to this a couple of times, what happens at Liverpool? When they changed their main stand and rebuilt it, they basically loads of people came in like we will do and try and take it yourself. But I remember there's a picture of it where they throw all of the wooden seats onto the pitch, so they stacks them. But they then,
Hopefully, while the players are still there.
what?
Hopefully, while the players are still there.
But what they did was, in I guess typical cop-out fashion, which I hope we don't do, is you had to buy your own seat. I think it was about. I think someone will correct me, but I think it was about like £100 to buy the seat you sat in.
Oh, 100% will do that. The
Yeah,
club
and
are
I
going to
just
be
think
flogging
I
any
think
old shite when we move.
that's that's a slap in the face. That something you've been paying what do you think
Yeah.
over the years thousands upon thousands of quid, and you can't even get the piece of wood you sat in unless you pay for it.
Imagine getting slapped in the face with your own wooden seat, Dave.
Someone just throwing it at you,
There you go.
setting it on fire.
Yeah.
What else are we missing a trick with them merchandise wise, Pete?
I'm of the opinion. Do you remember back in the day they had those big heads?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
There are some
the
of them
thing
still
about-
about at certain quizzes, I'll have you know.
it was hard to get Everton ones though. It was hard to get a full Everton one.
But I'll let you know now, they're not the same anymore. They're smaller.
Oh,
They are.
it
It
is.
takes away the charm.
Are they?
They're like that now, and they
that's
used to be
crap.
like that. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
True.
So they need to bring back the full size big heads. I don't know what they're actually called. Them, we just call them big heads. But I've got like the old '95 ones. So I've got like John Ebrell, Amakachi, Kanchelskis,
Ride out.
Ferguson,
They didn't do a
Rideout.
full squad though, did they? For us,
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, because I got off eBay in 2018 because my mate hated Ale Barrett. I googled Ale Barrett gifts and I found an Ale Barrett packet in the box, and I got it to him, gave it to him before the first game of the season for his birthday. He went, "Happy birthday!" He went, "What?" And then he opened it, and it was Ale Barrett in the box in
That's
the full
amazing.
kit.
But did they have the full squad of players?
Not the full
got
squad,
Ale
but
Barrett.
If you had El Barrett, they
Yeah.
must have done.
Ale Barrett,
Yeah.
no, you don't want anyone else apart from Ale Barrett. But what I'm saying is, used to be like in Woolies or something like that. You could get them, but they only had like Man United and all the like so-called bigger teams, and you couldn't get our full one. And also, they got a version of ours out in my favourite kit that's on. So happens to be there with me Kanchelskis thing,
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
class.
that's
That one
amazing,
looked
that.
like it.
which I dropped on the floor and broke it. But
Is that
it
why he
remains,
got injured? Is it like a voodoo doll?
it remains in glory. I always leave it here when we're doing the mailbag, and I was like that, putting it over there and dropped it on the floor, and I think I've broke it.
Oh,
When
Jesus.
Taribo West broke his leg or whatever when he went to Fiorentina. That's what
That would
happened.
the one more thing I was going to say in relation to that. Do you not think they'll end up, or they should end up doing those what are they called, pop things where you get the plaster?
Funko
Pops. Yeah, I'm
Pops.
surprised that hasn't been done actually.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that, and also go back to original Mail and footy stickers.
Panini, mate.
Was it
You
Panini
kids
before Mail?
mailing.
Which one was
Panini?
which?
Man, it was the 90s, only for
Yeah.
Panini's like
You
back
kid-
in
it
before
was-
that, isn't it?
Mailing was for you kids. For us old asses, it was Panini all day.
Did you never fill your book?
Yeah, at 86, and I put Liverpool scored in upside down.
What was
What
was
was
your
that?
hardest?
9-year-old Roberts hated them then.
Which
Where's
is
the,
why you call Anfield the upside down now, isn't it?
There you go.
Circle.
Man,
Hey,
we've
Liam,
got
you
us
mentioned the
time
quiz
with
there.
strange things. I was going to ask
Anything?
you though, probably a question for us all. What was
Go
the
on.
last player you needed to get to fill your book?
Oh, I can't remember that.
Remember it?
Probably.
I remember getting John Salaho in 1995 because my sister did the swap with someone down the road because she knew I needed John Salaho. My dad bought the
Salaho
kid
was
like
a
a
hard
10p
one to
mix as a thank you.
Did anyone ever go to the swap things?
Yes, the one, it wasn't like in Everton Park.
Yeah, and there's one in
yeah.
Anfield as well.
Yeah.
I never went because I thought you cheating bastards if you go in and swapping stickers. You've got to
Yeah.
go and pay. You've got to go and pay all sorts to get them.
No, I
But
went in a
anyway,
black t-shirt with Duncan Ferguson on it. It was like this
Yeah.
snarg t-shirt with like it said Duncan
And-
Ferguson.
I remember them.
you had
Yeah,
about when your stickers, you had at the end, you had about like a 2-foot stack of the stickers.
Yeah.
And I remember going into school, and the one person I needed was Neil Ruddock, who was playing at West Ham. He was the one who remained to fill my book in the 99-2000 one. I remember going up to some lad, and it used to wreck my head if they had them like in not mint condition.
Yeah.
Where like someone had licked them or something like that, or one of them wet grass or something.
What?
I said to him, what?
What?
Yeah, well, kids that age, when you're sick, you do what you need to do. But but the school I went to were like that. Anyway, it was brutal, but I never slate brutal. But there you go.
No, same.
I went in and I said to him, "Look, mate, I'll give you all of my stickers. Like I had a stack of them that big with about 500 shinies." And I just said, give me Neil Ruddock now. And he gave me Neil Ruddock. And I went home like a champion, walked in, hands up and all that. I've finally done the book. I've finally done it. Did it. And then I was flicking through the book thinking, yeah, this is great there. And do you remember the lad from Crystal Palace who went on to manage them for the season? Lombardo.
Oh, God, yeah.
I was missing him. So
Oh, no.
I'd given away my entire 5,000 stickers collection for Neil Ruddock and still needed one more.
Did you
And
think he?
I never got him. I never got him in the end.
You never
Did you
got
think
him?
No, still there.
Did you think you
The
had
gap-
to
Still got the
because
book.
like the outline was like an egg, like my head?
It's the gap line. The gap in my life is him.
Any 80s kids who had Panini stickers will probably remember that you would have ended up with about 20 Brian Kilclines.
Yeah.
Coventry skipper.
He sits in the paddock. I am 100% convinced I need to get a picture of him. He's the spitting image, long hair and muzzy.
Beard.
And it's him. It's absolutely
That's
him.
Paul Wilkinson.
Challenging people to arm wrestles at
Paul
all time.
Wilkinson. Yeah.
That sounds like Les in the 80s, though.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I could never grow a fringe even in the 80s.
Liam.
Hello.
Sorry, can I just say, before I forget, you know
Yeah.
when Pete, you were saying about the big head things, and you've also said it was 1995 as well with the squad, Liam. They had to stop. They had to make them smaller because they done Joe Royal, and his head was as big as the rest of the whole teams. That's right. So that's why they changed it.
He's got a huge, lovely head, hasn't he, Joe Royal?
He's the nicest ex-footballer I have ever met.
Yes.
He is he's just such it. Well, him and Colin Harvey, absolute gentlemen.
Gentleman. Yeah.
Do you know what
Liam,
do you know what he
So
doesn't
nice.
do though? He'll never do he'll never do a selfie kind of thing. And because I messaged him last year, I can't remember what it was for. One of my mates, I said, "Is there any chance you can just do like a voice message with someone?" And he just refuses to do that. And I reckon it's class because he's like, I don't do like the modern day stuff. Do you know
fair
what I mean?
enough.
I think that's a touch of class, to be honest with you.
Keep it real. Right, Liam, quiz. What's happening?
Yes. Monday the 10th of Feb, we've got a good times quiz. I write it myself. It's not the easiest of quizzes. I know I've sent you in the past. But we make it nice, fun. We're at the Excelsior, and there's a £40 bar tab is the main prize. Laura Gates has been brilliant. She's donating a couple of prizes as well. And we also have, for the Simpsons fans, we have a mystery box, like an actual pink box with the question marks on, that we get a prize out of. There's been some brilliant prizes from it, including a second-hand copy of David Weir's book. There's been some really good prizes.
Was that signed by you?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Signed by me.
What date and time did you say?
Yeah, 7:30 on the 10th of Feb at the Excelsior. So it's the good times quiz. Obviously, the good times. We go out on the Blue Room feed. You guys have been unbelievable to us. But yeah, we had a really good attendance last time, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. But we have like 6 rounds. Varying difficulty and stuff, but it's pretty fun. And yeah, I'll see you down there. It's going to be Derby and Valentine's themed.
Yes,
so there's a Derby round and a Valentine's round. That's all I can say. I can't give too much away.
Big week, that isn't it?
2 days before the Derby as well.
Derby on the Wednesday, Valentine's Day on the Friday.
Well, we were meant to do it on the Thursday, but then the Derby got moved, so we were like, okay, we'll do the Monday.
Yeah,
I get my season ticket. I can do my season ticket in the morning of the Derby, and then I've got route on Valentine's Day. That is like 2 of the worst like coincidences ever, isn't it? So
that's going to be the most stressful day ever.
Yeah, it could be one of the best days of your life, but probably will be the worst because you won't be able to. That digital thing, the website's going to crash. And we're going to get battered by that.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Right, lads, three questions to go. Where Ian has asked, worst penalty you've ever seen at Goodison by either an Everton player or the opposition? Again, for me, there's one answer to this. Martin's for Newcastle would be his, landed at the back of the Gladys Street. Liam?
I know the one you went for, but just to offer an opinion, I'm going to go, because it was good for us, I'm going to go for Tom Cleverley's Diana Ross impression when we beat Watford 3-2. We were 2-0 down, then went to 3-2, and then Tom Cleverley hit this penalty. I've never seen one go so wide. He was missing the second he hit it.
I won 500 quid that night because of that penalty miss, because I had Rooney to score a header and Watford to miss a penalty, and it was 500 to 1, and I put a quid on it, and it won.
Belter.
Because Rooney missed the pen, and it got saved. Was it that game? And then he had the rebound.
Bain scored the pen for us in that game.
Oh,
you're thinking Watford? You think Swansea?
Yeah, well, possibly. I don't watch pens, so I can't. I have never seen.
I just pens. You can fuck off. I've never watched.
I've got mates like that. Can't watch.
Yeah, I just sit down anytime. So all I do, and then
every game, though, for every other team as well.
Yeah, I don't watch any pens.
I'm not saying you do for every other match you watch.
Oh, you ask Tom and Gary, who sits next to me. I genuinely.
No, I'm saying, like on Match of the Day when you're watching Stoke against some outside. Did you just go like that?
Yeah, but Match of the Day, it's a highlight in it, so I know what's already happened.
Have you ever taken one?
What's that?
Have you ever taken one?
I'm sure Dave knows this. Oh
yeah,
no,
he did.
He did. I scored against Vinnie O'Connor in a when I played for the club at the Gladys Street.
How did you feel
there's
about
a picture of me.
If you can't watch penalties, how do you feel about taking one?
Well, I took with my eyes closed.
Fair enough.
when it comes to penalty shootouts, do you just like walk out? I'm going home.
No, I watch penalty shootouts, but not in play in game penalties. I don't know why.
It's just not really complicated.
We don't know why either, mate.
Dead quick, like that pen that I scored. Right, I was on. Sharpie was my manager of the team, so and he almost the ball. Mark Halsey was the referee, right, and the ball got rolled out by our goalkeeper. I can't remember who our goalkeeper was. Anyway, and the ball,
Jason Keaton.
got deflected by Halsey. Like he tried to put it into my path, and it rolled out towards the corner of the Gladys, towards the Bullens. And then I flipped it up and started doing keep-ups and was rolling the ball on, like a basketball. And he's going, no, get it, no, none of that. You're not taking it. And I'm like, I am taking it. And I scored. But there's a picture of me that was taken by, I can't think it would have been Tony McCardle, I think. And you can see Sharpie in the distance, like half turning away like that and looking at the dugout. And I actually look like a football player on the on the shot because I've got my arm up like Beckham. And
it'll never be the Chan Cup. It'll never be the Chan Cup.
No, I didn't take a pen in that one.
Dave, worst penalty you've ever seen at Goodison?
An enjoyable one was, well, we ended up, it was that fucking McAllister one when they beat us, but Fowler missed the pen at the park end.
Oh yeah.
It hit the post and went wide. And the
I
look on
thought
his
he
face,
scored.
I've never seen or heard a level of abuse when he missed that pen. And he was like, you could, like, he looked like he was going to cry. I think they took him off in that game because it was Heskey. Obviously, I'm not going to go over who scored and all that because we all know what happened.
let's not pull
But
up that
I'm
thread.
pretty sure they took him off, but it looked like he was going to cry. That was amazing. That like when the opposition miss a pen, it proper G's everyone up, doesn't it? Like if you could choose, like when your team felt quite flat or like 15 minutes in the game looked shite, your opposition missing a pen, probably one of the best things that could happen for your
That's
team
great.
in the game,
Like that
isn't
Newcastle
it?
one Pickford saved. Brilliant.
Yeah,
It picks everyone up, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
that Gordon one, yeah.
Pete?
Yakubu against Fiorentina was
heartbreak.
one
Yeah.
absolutely killed me, and I don't think. I mean, he used to be so cool with his penalties as well, and he'd always just like he was so calm. He'd send the keeper the wrong way. He was great at penalties, but the one time when it really mattered for us, and I loved Yakubu as well, really, really. And Jagielka missed one in that as well, didn't he? But then he made up for it when he scored the winner against United in the semi-final. So, but yeah, Yakubu's was the one that really
That
stuck with
Yakubu
me.
one, that was in all the way until like the last second, and it went dinking at the post.
Yeah,
It was in goal
Yeah.
for us in that game.
Nigel
did you
Martin.
want us to
No,
say?
it would have been Nigel Martin.
No, you know what he's asking.
Anyway, last two
Because it was his fault we lost, that's why.
Oh, Tim Howard, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We lost because of him, shite.
By the way, obviously the worst penalty is Onana.
no,
But yeah,
By a
Oh, yeah,
mile.
yeah.
let's move on.
no. Richarlison against Southampton.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah.
Should have won.
Oh,
was
that
bad.
one.
Oh, Kevin Morales.
That
Do you remember
run.
Kevin Morales
Oh,
when he
took it
took
off
it
Baines.
off
That's the
Baines?
ball. Was it West Brom, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, West
Yeah.
Brom,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
0-0, wasn't it?
Oh,
Wow.
God.
That
Yeah.
was the turning point for him. I think we'd given him a
Yeah.
lot of leeway up until that point. But when he
Yeah.
did that, we were all fuming with him.
Yeah.
Do you remember that weird like time when we just where there's about 3 or 4 different players started taking the pens off Baines and they all missed.
Yeah,
I think it
Barkley
was
missed
Morales,
as well, didn't he? Lukaku.
Barkley,
Barkley,
yeah.
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 Barkley, I'm sure, but there was another one as well. And then we were all just like, Leighton Baines is right there. What are you doing?
Yeah, just fuck it in
And
now.
obviously,
I still maintain no professional footballer should miss a pen.
No.
Nobody should miss a
Steve
pen.
Brunswick can score like 50 of them. Then no.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're doing that all week, you should be able to pick your spot. No matter what the pressure, you should
Not
be able
even
to think
doing
it's
that.
a
You don't
corner
even
every
need to
time.
do that, mate. Hit the ball as hard as you can. You will not miss.
Yeah.
Ever.
And Dye's penalties send me, the
There's not enough
the
wind
too
in them, is
calm.
there?
Dave
No.
Downey I'm not joking here, is the best penalty taker I've literally ever seen. When he hits them, they're like missiles. You don't save those. Honestly,
There was a
absolutely
time.
ridiculous.
There was a time.
Like Unsworth, I'm not even joking.
They're the ones.
He doesn't just blast them down the middle like Julian Dix did. He put them in a corner. Absolute, like he hits his drives probably at golf. I bet
That was it. That was pre-me death days. That.
Dreamy death days.
We've been in part
BD.
one, Paul. We went through that.
It was a roller coaster.
Dave, it's like a Viz character. Dave's near-death experiences.
And the near-death experiences, and then the one-death experience.
Jesus.
Right, lads. That's all we've got time for this week. Ben and Stephen, we will come to your questions next week because sadly we have run out of time. We've got a game to get to today.
Can I quickly just say congratulations to so we had for the Wolves game, we had a lad come over from in between like New Jersey and Philadelphia, Tim, and he was absolutely amazing. We took him up to Bramley Moor on the morning of the game. And this is mental, like, but he flew over. That was his first ever game, and he wanted to get to Goodison before it obviously goes. And his wife was like 7 months pregnant back home in America, honestly, and she let him go. And she's given birth yesterday, I think it was.
Was Les the dad?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that
Where
from?
did it come from?
I mean, Dave,
It's when he said congratulations to you, Les.
I'm a relatively virile man, but I mean, transatlantic's a bit much for me.
Tim and his wife. I don't know Tim's wife's name, sadly, but his name
Mrs.
is
Les.
Yeah. What? Yeah, Mrs. Les.
He's got his US passport now.
So Brian, and his middle name is Thomas, and it's nothing to do with me. He's just because I went, that's my son's name because he's only just said it now.
Paul, where's this going, lad?
No, I'm just saying congratulations to them. I just thought it'd be nice for us to wish them congratulations.
Congratulations, nothing to do with me, but
He
congratulations.
definitely said congratulations, Les. There, you know.
I didn't mean to.
There's ale in that coffee there.
It was a lovely
It's
way
hot
to
chocolate.
end Mailbag anyway. Liam, Pete, Dave, and Paul, thank you very much as ever. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. As I said, Ben and Stephen will get to yours next week. That's it for this week's Mailbag. Up the toffees.